Hi guys, very warm welcome tonight, this evening for our special landing flight tonight. We're going to be going to the old closed Kai-Tak airport, and we're going to be doing it in this lovely 737-800 China Airlines, and we're going to be taking it down into Kai-Tak for runway 13 on the visual approach. So we take that lovely right turn, and it should be a really enjoyable flight. So, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave your comments down below guys, and now sit back and take your seats for departure. Okay, so right now we are in the 737 cockpit, so we'll turn our battery, which is on and guarded, standby power is on and guarded, and we'll put our ground power on. Let's turn on our panel lights, we'll turn to bat and ground power. We'll go ahead and set up the nav frequency for the ILS. Next up, we'll put our emergency lights to armed. We can now start the APU, and we'll open a pump for that. We'll go ahead and test our window heat, which can go on. We'll turn our trim air on with our packs. And once the APU comes, then we'll put the APU bleed on and switch to the APU gen. Now, if we go into our FMC, let's just turn on our panel lights and light up the cockpit. Go in and get our ATIS for the airport. So it's Victor Hotel Hotel Hotel. Send that off. Whilst we go to our route, we'll then just put that in. So Victor Hotel, Hotel Hotel, and then we've got Victor Hotel X-Ray X-Ray, which is our Kai-Tak airport that we're going to, as I had to install it with the custom scenery thanks to a friend on the channel. It helped me out a lot, so we've got the Kai-Tak in today. So we're going to be departing from runway 07 right, and we're going to be taking the Lakes 2 if it's there, or we'll take the Lakes 3 Alpha. It was a 2 Alpha and a 3 Alpha for 7 left and right. We'll go to our route, which really isn't going to be much from there, as obviously the airport's shut, but I've got the visual approach charts and the instrument approach charts. I'm going to do a visual approach. So for the visual approach, we're going to go to the Shengqiao VOR, which is Charlie Hotel, which is right here. And then from the Shanghai VOR, we're going to go to Stonecutters, which is Sierra Charlie. And then from Sierra Charlie, we'll hit the Hong Kong NDB, which is Romeo Whiskey. And then our arrival will be for runway 13. Okay. So that's our route. So we can go ahead and activate that. Go into our perf, let's set our weight up. Reserves of 1, we'll put a cost of 55, and we'll go for flight level 200. Okay, so let's put our temperatures in. We'll take full takeoff and we'll do flaps 5. So we've got a 142, 144 and a 153. So we'll go put the 153 into our speed for our V2. We've got 20,000 on the clock, which is all nice. We'll go ahead and put the flight directors on with the auto throttle. We'll switch over to the gen. We'll go over to APU gen now. And whilst going back into the cockpit, we can also do our winds for the runway, which I will get right now, as we'll go into the ATIS now. Let's have a look at the ATIS, QNH 1022 080 at 7 knots. So 080 at 7 knots, let's just put in our IRS, which is right here. Let's then light up the screens like so. and our ATIS was 080 at 7. Okay. Zero 07. There we go. So we go back. Nothing's really changed. 144 and a 153. So that's all good now. We'll set the QNH up for our departure. So 1022. Go over to our first officer's side, which is 1022, which is all set. So we can turn our anti-collision on. We're going to flight level 200. If we need to climb any higher, then we will, and we'll leave that at 0 because it's a 15-foot elevation at Kaitak. So we'll turn our yaw damper on. We can turn our packs off now as we get ready to depart. APU bleed can go on as well. And now the aircraft is all set up, ready to go. So we'll call the tug in and we'll get the aircraft pushed.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, so let's go ahead and release the parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Thank you very much, and we'll go ahead with engine number 2. So let's go ahead and get that all started up.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Okay, so let's go ahead and put the parking brake on.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
On, and now we can go over to Gen 1. We'll put the Pro-P on as well. And we can turn our isolation valve back to auto, turn our packs on, turn the taxi lights on. And now the aircraft is all set up to go, so we'll turn our APU off. Turn our auto brake to RTO. Get our flight control system.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
See you soon, bye bye. Okay, so we'll go full left, full right, forward, back, and rudder left, and rudder right. So she's all working fine. We'll drop our flaps 5. Okay, flaps 5's down. So we are now all good to go. We're going to come out of the block. Once we come out of the block, we're then going to take a right turn down Hotel, and then we'll pass the hold short at Juliet 1 for runway 07 right. So let's turn our auto throttle on and arm it. Let's release the brakes and off we go. So we'll just taxi down to the end here, and then we'll turn right. Should be quite a nice arrival into Kai Tak, as obviously the airport isn't used no more, so I had to go and find some charts, and that's why we manually pull it into the FMC. Otherwise, because we ain't got no star or anything for the airport, so we'll come down on the visual, then we'll take the swooping right down into the airport. Okay, so we're going to go down onto Whiskey. Okay, so now we'll take a right and then run down Hotel. Or Julia. There's Juliet, so this is Hotel. And then we'll go straight down to the bottom. And then get out of here. So let's open the throttles up now, as we've got a clear stretch of taxiway. So we'll go up to our full taxi speed, around 30 knots. So there's 34, close off the throttles. That should be a nice departure. A little bit of wind as we're using the real-time weather. Hopefully we can come down into a nice lovely approach today. So run it on the visual, but I'll use the instrument altitudes. So our initial approach will start around 6,000, then we'll get to the Shangqiao VOR for 4,500, then we'll come down to 2, then to 1, and then we should be making that turn at around, I think it's about 850 feet. We make that turn as we go from Stonecutters, and then we'll see the boards in front of us, which will then initiate our right turn down into runway 13. Which will be all good. So as we're getting now near to the runway, we'll turn our terrain radar on. Okay, so we're going to go from Juliet 1. Nice little Air France 747. The pack is included with the ex-Europe. It also gives you an aircraft package. As long as you've got the show parked aircraft activated on your X-Plane settings, then you'll get aircraft all over the place. Okay, so now we are near to our 07 right. Okay, so here we are now. We'll get ready to cross the hold short. So here's Juliet 1. We'll say that we've been told to line up and wait. So we'll turn our position lights on, our wings and wheel well can go on, our runway turn-offs. And now we'll go ahead and line up onto the runway.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Okay, so we just line up now. There we go. Okay, so we'll arm the LNAV and VNAV. Everything else here is all good. We'll turn on our landing lights as we are all good to go. We'll turn our logo on even though it's not really needed. Start our clock. We'll release the brake. And we'll go 40%. And toga. Airspeed alive. A little bit of wind from the left. Check. Let's make this a good one.
E1, rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Flaps 1, check 400. Now following the flight director, still flying manually. We'll fly her up and around. We'll do this as it is a special flight today. So flaps up. And now we can turn the auto brakes to off. Okay, let's just lift up a little bit more. There comes the cutback. Climbing through 2000 now. Nice and stable on the flight director. As you see now, as we're climbing higher, our terrain radar is starting to fade, which means we are in the clear. Anything in the red basically means we're gonna hit it. Okay, so just passing 4,000 now. Staying stable. It's actually quite a nice stable flight today. Okay. So, we'll level off here for 5. And we'll start to make that right turn. So we just keep with the flight director. Okay. So let's put the LNAV and VNAV on. Okay, so on our legs, ventilate 51 nautical miles. Yeah, that's all fine. Okay, so now the autopilot has taken over up to 20,000. Then we'll come back down for the approach. So we'll turn our QNHs back to standard. And what I also want to do now is we'll do a 147 flaps, put our glide slope on. And what I also want to do now is get our ATIS, if it will give us anything, for the airport. Okay. So we're going to travel out to Lakes and then we're going to come straight back for the arrival. And as you can see, then we get to Lakes and then it's 51 miles back to Shangwu. Yeah, they wouldn't have no me today. So guys, what we'll do is we'll fly this one completely out today, and then we'll show our takeoff and cinematics once we get nearer to our top of climb. And then once we get to Lakes, I'll be back when it's time for our descent down into Kaitak for the lovely visual approach on runway 13. So don't forget to like and subscribe, leave your comments down below, and I shall see you all in just a moment. Hi guys, right now we are just getting ready to go into our top of descent. Ready for us to go to the Shengchao VOR, as we are 56 miles from the Shengchao VOR. Then we'll go to Stonecutters and then we'll make that right turn down into runway 13. So what we want to do is the initial approach. When we get to Shengchao, we're going to start our approach at 6,000 feet. Then we're going to go down and descend towards 1,050, and then we'll go down to 850 for the right turn for runway 13. So as the aircraft now re-establishes itself, we can start to get the aircraft all set up. So let's go in. We've got our 147 for flaps 40. We've got our glide slope, which is on also for that. Shang is approximately 290, so we can put that in. The course runway heading is 135. Whoops. So to 275 now, and we'll go with our course, which is 135. As we're going to be doing a visual, because obviously we haven't got the charts, got the approach and the instrument approach chart, but because obviously I had to add this in as custom scenery, things are just a little bit. So got the drag in now. And then once we get to Shengchao, we'll go to 237. Should make for a lovely arrival. Got our speed brakes open now. Okay, so we can let that back in. Cancel that off. So in 40 miles we need to be at 237. As you can see here, there is our runway, and that is going to be basically the turn that we are going to make in. We're going to come down, make that right turn at Shengchao, and that'll be our 6,000. We'll come down then through 6,000 down to 1,000, and then 850, and that's where we make our right turn at the Stonecutters VOR, or NDB, and then we should be lined up for runway 13. We'll be flying a 37 degree heading when we make that right turn. Ready for our 135. So now we're going to make that left turn. Slow the aircraft down to 250. As we now get ready to come down into the airport. So for the Barrow, because it's a elevation of 15 feet, we'll go with 800 and hold up, let's just do this quick. So we've got 850 50 feet, which is going to be when we make our right turn at Stowell Cutters. So if we put a 900 barrow and then plus 40 so we don't go over it. If we put a 930 or a 940 in, that should give us enough time to know if we're going to make it or not. So 940. And our 940. Okay. So, just descending now through 12,000. And we're approximately 25 miles away now from the Shenzhou. Not too long now, in 20 miles time, we will be getting ready for that magnificent right turn. So we'll slow to 236 for 5,600. Let's speed brake in. Let's go down to 235. There's our board. We're going to come down and then sweep right in. So that is the approach from Stone Cutters. Then we're going to make that right turn in. There we go. Now we've got the buildings. There is our right turn all mapped out for us. Okay. So just gone now under 10,000, landing lights can go down, we've got a runway turn off, so we'll leave our taxis on, everything else can stay as it is. We'll brief the cabin, let them know that we are coming down. Now I'm going to leave the barrow's fine, I'm going to leave the Q&H to as it is, as obviously I can't get any ATIS up, and Hong Kong's just over the way, it's only 1022. It's got an elevation of 30 or something feet, so it's not much difference. So it should be pretty all good. Okay, so let's start zoning in now on that turn. Start the initial approach at 6,000 at Shangchao, and that is where things will start to get juicy and get very quick. So to 188 now. As we're near our flaps, we drop flaps 1. Okay, so we're making that turn now. Okay, there's our 6,000. Let's open the gear. Okay, we'll go flaps 15. Okay, so as we now get ready to make that right turn, now disengage the auto throttle and the autopilot. So let's go down to our flaps 25. Turn off our auto throttle. There we go. To 045 course. And we'll go flaps 30. And flaps 40. There we go. Let's keep us on up on our rev. Okay. It's got a little bit of wind. Okay, so there's our board.
$2,500.
Okay, we've got the airport in sight. Okay, so let's start making that right turn.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue. $
500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Okay, so speed brakes are up and reversers are active. Okay, so there we are guys, down in Kai Tak Airport. Hope you enjoyed the flight and now get ready for our cinematics. So, we'll turn our speed brakes to off, we can retract our flaps and turn the auto brake off, and now let's get ready for our cinematics. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to taxi onto Alpha 11, but before I do that, let me show you how the low approach really should have been done, as I think we was a little bit too high, and this is what happened when we done a very low approach. So check it out and let me know what you think. Here's a little shot from earlier. Gonna make that turn at 850 feet.
1,000.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Okay, reversers are active and speed brakes are up. Hope you enjoyed that one, guys.
80 knots.
So you can compare the two and let me know which one that you enjoyed. And we'll check the cinematics out on that quickly as well. Okay, so there we are, guys. I hope you enjoyed the flight today into Kai Tak. So now let's watch the aircraft taxi into the gate, and I'll see you at the end when the aircraft parks up. Hope you enjoyed both parts of the landing. The first landing where it was a little bit too high, and then obviously we showed you the low approach landing. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below. And there we are, guys, down in Kai Tak. Hope you enjoyed the flight tonight. Give us a thumbs up and let me know which one out of both landings that you liked the most. And I'll see you all next time for our next flight. Take care for now, and I'll see you all soon.